Yo, what is up, Kings? I wanted to briefly make a video on something in particular. So, when it comes to content creation, okay, the bottom line is, a lot of people don't realize this, including people who maybe come across one of my videos and subscribe, which is fine. I understand that. But there's a lot of people who are team players, like they're team-sided, rather than being philosophically, worldview, thought-sided. What I mean by that is there's a lot of people in the conservative space that choose to like a certain individual and choose to like certain content merely because it is what is being promoted through the Blaze, through Daily Wire. Even though there is tons of shit that comes across their eyes that is contradictory to conservatism and traditionalism. And that is why I've done many videos detailing the difference between somebody who is a modern day conservative and calls themselves a conservative in today's day and age, when in reality they are basically a liberal, just a little bit less. They're basically, otherwise known as a neocon. They're basically somebody who purports traditionalism, but in reality, all they care about is lowering taxes. They care far more about being liked by liberals and having liberals, not judge them for their traditional, more Christian-oriented worldview. Oh, please like me. Oh, no, we don't mean that. Oh, don't call us that. Well, we didn't mean it that way. Rather than just saying, you know what? No, fuck it. I am a traditional conservative, and this is what that looks like. Okay? I got news for you. Liberals aren't going to like conservatives regardless. And you know what? On their side, they are not self-conscious about whether conservatives like them. And honestly, it helps them in the long run. It does. But in the content creation space, you'll have situations where people will come across content, and if they are one of those people that are team oriented and they like the bullshit that's coming across them from the Blaze or from the Daily Wire, as long as it's got the stamp of the Daily Wire or the Blaze, please give me more, please give me more. And if there's somebody who gives pushback on anything that they have said, they can't handle it, even though it is completely a valid critique of that individual. There's a lot of you guys who really like the videos that I make calling out e-girls, which I enjoy making those videos as well. But conversely, when I point out issues with things that Donald Trump has said, things that his campaign is promoting, I lose subscribers, which is fine. I've told you guys many times, me making these videos, I want to push a worldview, and you can take it or leave it. And that's the thing that I'm saying is, like, at the end of the day, I personally would always rather, and it's very few people who are this way, I would rather come across somebody who doesn't give a fuck if they lose subscribers or not. What's more important to them is purporting what they believe to be correct and true above anything else. Okay? I am not just some blind follower. As much as conservatives like to purport being a critical thinker and thinking for yourself, a lot of times That is not true. Even before I started making content, I found that that is not true. There's a lot of conservatives that are just as blind to following bullshit as long as it's their team when compared to liberals. They will follow it just as blindly. So like I said, the videos that I do that like it's almost guaranteed, because I've done like five or six of these videos at this point. It's almost guaranteed when I make a video having pushback against Donald Trump, and the most recent one was his IVF in vitro fertilization stance, where he is promoting it, signing an executive order to make it cheaper. There are people who traditionally would subscribe to a channel like mine that get super offended by that because they are team oriented. Oh, how you can't? No, not Daddy Trump. We can't critique the movement. We can't critique Trump. I got news for you guys, okay? I've said many times, when it comes to Trump, I like the American that he has been, and the perseverance and the pushing of greatness. But when it comes to his campaign and some of the shit that he does, there's some major issues. And I don't think that there's a problem with pointing that out. Because at the end of the day, if you want to win, you should want your worldview to win. And if the leaders that you put into office are not promoting that and are not taking steps towards your worldview winning, then that needs to be pointed out. Because if you push and support somebody just for the sake of them and their name and the movement that they represent, rather than the actual things that they are doing when they're in office and the things that they're actually doing just in general, then your worldview is never going to come to fruition. That is why the left has defeated the right in the culture war, over from 1960s onward. I mean, there's several reasons. One would be that conservatives are ashamed of themselves and have kind of this self-consciousness about their worldview. But the second is that there's a lot of conservatives that support just for the sake of supporting, rather than truly being critical of what is being done and what is being said. And so when all is said and done, they don't notice that for the past 60 years, we have basically had a uniparty system where they're all promoting the same shit to one degree or another. And so if you don't notice that, then you are a part of the problem on why things are not getting better. So I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. I think that this is, honestly, I'm kind of black-pilled on this becoming any better. I don't think it will become better, because I think human beings are extremely tribal. And no matter what, human beings are going to take teams and take sides, and they can get blinders on to what is actually for their worldview and what is against it. And that's why I've done videos in the past where I say, like, you have to ask yourself and evaluate, is your foundation for your worldview being Christian, or is it being a fiscal conservative? Okay, because often those are not the same things. And just to wrap this video up, I don't want to make this too long. You should always have a critical eye, including, and I've always said this, when watching my videos, you should always, when you come across something, ask yourself, do I really believe that? Is what that person said really assigned to my worldview? And the last thing is, I think conservatives, just as much as liberals, very much get very offended when they come across one thing that they have an emotional response to, rather than being logical and asking themselves, okay, do I actually agree with this, or is this just an impulsive response that I'm having because I'm team oriented and I have some blinders on here? There's a lot of fakers in the space. There's a lot of people who purport one thing, but in reality, there's something else. And that is just as true in the right wing as it is in fact, I would actually say in the left wing, they are a little bit more authentic to what they purport, because they don't have that ashamed feeling. And there's a lot of people that co-opt and slide into the right wing sphere because it's like a fashion statement. So it is okay. It is okay to critically think about things, even for people that you like. It's not a problem. That's no big deal. So yeah, like I said, I don't think it's going to get much better. I think that this is just like a natural thing that happens. People are very tribal, and they become very team-minded, team-oriented, and because of that, they have this very emotional response to critique that they hear. A lot of them are boomers. Just blame the boomers for everything. But this is what the elites. At the end of the day, guys, it's the elites versus us, and that's right wing or left wing. And they think that we are dumb. They think that we'll just take whatever slop that they put in front of us. And sadly, a lot of times they're right. So if people are not, these elected officials are not doing things that are in support of your worldview, for me, it is a traditional Christian-oriented worldview, then I won't support it. It is that simple. I don't care if the person's name is Donald Trump. I don't care if the person's name is Kamala Harris. I don't give a fuck. It does not matter. It does not matter. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment. Stay tuned. I think I'm going to do another Ada Luch update here in the coming days. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. In fact, your feelings, because your feelings just don't matter. Crisis King. See you guys next time. Peace.